Welcome back to the War of Divisions with the Ultimate Chi. And we're going to talk about Offerwalls Part 2. Um, since this one has less than an hour left, I'm just going to say it. That one's not possible. I played it for a good... They want you to be level 90 in 7 days. I played it for a good 2 days. Just having my phone roll the slots. Yeah, that's not happening. In order to get to level 10 or was it 20, it took an hour. And then it only gets exponentially harder from there. And you're hit with really crappy RNG, so it's like, yeah, that's not happening. Unless you really like slots, and even then it's not worth your time. It's not worth your time for the visual you're gonna get. Even though it seems like a big chunk, it wasn't worth it. So last time we stopped at Raid Shadow Legends. We're gonna go to double casino. This one looks easy. It's reach level 2, but when you actually download the game and you look at it, level 2 is insane. Because you have to go through all this like club, diamond, spade, heart, whatever level of level 1, and then you can get to level 2. And it's one of those crappy slots situations. So yeah, no, it was a hard pass for me. So I gave up and I let the time expire. But then like they gave me the visual anyway for this one. So the way I look at it for this is okay. That merged dragon all the way in the bottom that I didn't get the visual for, this 1482 that I never got the visual for, I got compensated. 1365. So I call it a win. But yeah, don't play it. It's slots. It's dumb. Next, Klondike Adventures is basically another farm game. Uh you're farming, you're hacking through rocks to make stuff, build your little village. Um it was an okay game. Took me close to hour and a half, 2 hours to complete it. Not worth it. Um uh my income aside, an hour or 2 hours, I think would be worth something like 600 visual or so. Because at least give me $10 an hour, like basically minimum wage for playing this game, right? In visual, then I'll be cool with that. Here, no, the game was okay, but 273 visual, that's a pass. Picture puzzle. This is the one where they have numbers on the sides, and you color in the picture based on the numbers on the sides. It was not bad. Took me 15 minutes. 15 minutes for 150. Yeah, it was alright. As you can see, I'm scraping the bottom of my barrel at that point because this was Halloween and I had to get the Howlet. I had to get the little Leela and Ryu shards quickly. Or they're not gonna max, and I'm gonna be carrying them for 89. I'm gonna be carrying them around 79 or 89 for like a good year or two. So no, I had to do a lot of these to get visual. Spade Plus taught me how to play the game of spades. This one, getting to level 10 is not hard. Unfortunately, it took me somewhere between 3 or 4 hours because even if you do know how to play the game of spades, which I didn't at the time, so it took me a little bit to learn. One, it depends on RNG. It depends on how much, what kind of cards you get, and two, the main player mode here is you play with a friend instead of playing solo, and you can run into some real trolls, or you could just run into some really really dumb teammates. So, for 420 visual, I don't think it's worth the aggravation. But definitely do this before you do like Game of Thrones. So medium, low level medium. So let's say on a scale of 1 to 5, 3 being medium, 5 being hard recommend. Spades is a 2. Raid Shadow Legend and Vikings is a 5, like that. Empire and Puzzles. This one's not hard. Player level. This is, and notice this is player level 10. All right, player level 10 and city level 10 are two different stories. A lot of games you can get player level 10 in like 2 hours, whereas city level 10 can easily take you 2 days. So Empire, it's a 3.5, 4. I would recommend it. It's a decent chunk of Visual. And it's one of those earlier offer walls where it offers you a ton. One Punch Man, always been wanting to play this game. Road to Hero is always been wanting to play this game. You get a free hero. I think you get Metal Knight off the bat, and he's pretty decently strong. But I believe One Punch Man took me like 2 days because it was actually that was just the game being hard, and me running into walls. So decently challenging game. For the gameplay, I give it a 4. I would recommend, but for actual like, it was not easy. It was a pretty good game, but it wasn't easy. There is an auto battle, but like a lot of it is you have to form your own formation. So I thought it was a good game. Solitaire Cruise. I recommend this one over the other one, over Solitaire Harvest. It pays a lot less. It pays a third of what Solitaire Harvest pays, but it was a lot easier. Let's put it that way. It was a lot easier. Solitaire Cruise, I only had to play like maybe 5 games and be done. So this was a good 15 minutes, versus the other one where it was an easy 3 to 4 days. So that was easy. Guns of Glory, I think, is a good recommendation. City Builder, level 12, very standard, right? Thing with Guns of Glory is they give you a ton of speed ups, and if you spend money on it, they got these like $1 beginner packs or whatever it is. I looked at it, I saw that hey, there's like skip tickets for like 8 hours. There's like basically if I spend $1, I can skip 8 hours, or 8 hours 3 times. I can skip something like 3 days worth of construction. So I'm like, yeah, I'll pay the $1 because my time isn't worth more than my time is worth a lot more than the $1, right? I much rather spend $1 on this game if I can get this thing done in like 20 minutes versus if it's gonna take me versus me wasting 3 days on this, right? So I spent $1 on this, and I was able to get Guns of Glory done in like an hour and a half. And that was after I realized, hey, I could just spend $1 on this. So realistically, if I started and I spent $1 on this with the starter pack, that gave me a whole bunch of speed ups, I might have been able to do this quest in like 15 minutes. So yeah, very good. Very hard to recommend. If you're a free to play War Division player, then okay, yeah, then different story, right? If you're not willing to spend money on War Divisions, why spend money on Guns of Glory? Otherwise, this would take you close to maybe 2 or 3 days to do. Lucky Miner, this one took a while to pay out. I paid the thing with this one is it has you download another game, which basically is like the offerwall of offerwall. Like what the heck? And have you play it for 35 minutes. Realistically, I opened the game and I just left it like that for 35 minutes. 35 minutes idle, 273 visual. I think it's worth. I have to go back one before it times out on me. So that was Lucky Miner. Where are we? State of Survival. First one I've ever done. First visual, first offer wall I've ever done. Took me 2-3 days. It was City Builder, and I've had some experience with City Builder games previously. Actually, I didn't, but I played some Chinese mobile games that are kind of alike. So City Builder game, it was not bad. I thought it was pretty entertaining. It was a first time experience building cities and all the extra perks. Took me 2 to 3 days. It was a good time. Overall, good time, decent payout. Yeah, I would recommend City of Survival. I would recommend State of Survival if it's still around, especially because you only need to get to level 12. Because after that, you just get unloaded on. They just wreck you. Your other PvP players just come and attack you. The way I look at it is like I'm a tourist in this game. Like a lot of these city builder games have you join guilds and alliances, whatever. You join them, and there are people help you build, and you help them build, which I thought was pretty cool. Cool mechanic, but yeah, like I'm a tourist in this game. I just want to be done with it. Get to level 12, get my vizier, get out. I'm not in it for the long run. I don't want to get into long range PvP or guild wars with people where like I just keep getting attacked. And speaking of attack, that's where Puzzle and Conquest comes in. Gotta take my own advice about these level 15, and also take Masada Gaming's advice about these level 15 settlements. Yeah, don't do level 15 settlements. I got attacked, and basically all my resources taken around level 13 or 14, making getting to level 15 ridiculously hard. Giving credit where it's due, this game does give you a ton of skip tickets. And I think you only build one at a time. I don't remember. But I remember this game giving you a ton of skip tickets because you can just play those puzzle levels and they'll give you skip tickets. So, very good one. If this was get to level 12, hard recommend. I would recommend that in an instant. But getting to level 15, no. Because you get really, really resource starved around 13 and 14 because like the requirement to go from 13 to 14, the stuff that you need to build your buildings, they went from a couple 100,000 to like 4 million. In this case, I think I spent $1 at $1 or $2 towards the end to get the resources so I can be done with it. Because realistically, in order for me to get like the 2 million wood or whatever the hell it was that I need to get, was going to take me a close to 3 days of hopping on and off to order my guys to farm a logging area. So yeah, no. I just paid them the $1 and got the hell out. So realistically, I got 1,620 Visor because $1's worth about 60 Visor. Still worth it. Solitaire Tri-Peaks, out of the 3 solitaires, I think this one is by far the worst one. Because of the funky mechanics that are in this game. Like, the other one has mechanics too. But this one has these like, this card's netted behind something. You gotta basically get that card twice. And the other thing about the Solitaire Harvest, the good thing about Solitaire Harvest is whenever you got one last card left, if you use the extra 5 cards, you're guaranteed to get a card that will pull that will finish it. That will pull the last card on the field in. In Tri-Peaks, you're not guaranteed that. So if you go down to 1 card and you have to use a lifeline, you're better off using the wild than you are using the pull 3 more cards or pull 5 more cards or whatever it is, because you're not actually guaranteed to get a card that will work, unlike in Harvest. So that's my main gripe with Tri-Peaks. And as you can see, like one of them pays 200 something. One of them pays 1,300. That one's the longest one. That was like 84 levels. The other one was like 5 levels. This one's like 5. The Solitaire Cruise was like 5 levels. And this one was 48 levels. So I would recommend Cruise because it's fast and painless. If you actually want to enjoy the game, I would go with Harvest. Tri-Peaks is just I figure it would be I think I give it the benefit of the doubt. I think it's like the first one done because it's far inferior. Mega Hit Poker Texas Hold'em. I normally like Hold'em. I'm a decent Hold'em player. So this took me somewhere close to maybe 2 days to do. The first day, because the more you wager, the faster you level. I got a bad beat a couple of times, and I lost all my money, and I had to basically build up the wealth before I can go after the bigger money again. So, um, it wasn't hard. You have to get to queen level, I think, queen level 3, which is basically 8 levels, because you get 5 levels in a rank. You go from, and you start at, I think, 10. So you go from jack. Jack is 5 levels, and then 3 levels of queen, so that's like 8. It was pretty good. Depending on this one really depends on whether or not you know how to play Texas Hold'em and if you're any good. Because gambling games, you're very likely to get a streak of bad luck, and this can take you from a day, 30 minutes, to somewhere close to like 5 days, based on the RNG. So I wouldn't call it a good one. This one wasn't that good. King of Avalon. Typical city builder, decent payout. I don't remember much about it. I thought it was, I guess that means it's a pretty neutral, decent game. But I just thought of it as city builder, and at this point I play so many city builders that like I get the images of the buildings mixed up in my head. So yeah, it's alright. Disney emoji. When they say level 10, you mostly level due to daily missions. And there is a daily mission around level 9 that will take you a day to complete, because that mission requires you to beat the game. That mission requires you to do daily things twice in a row. So to go from level 9 to 10 is the hard part. So it took me like a day. This is basically Bejeweled with Disney faces, and each Disney face has abilities, which is interesting. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I recommended it to my girlfriend, and she played it for a bit. So yeah. Is it visual efficient? Not really. Is it a decent game? It's not bad. That was Emoji Battle. Board Kings. This is like playing Monopoly by yourself. Oh wait, no wait. That was the Reach Queen Club 5. The one I was talking about before was this one, the World Series of Poker. Mega Hit Poker, I don't even remember. Must have been pretty easy. Because basically it's just Texas Hold'em, right? They're both just Texas Hold'em. Same situation stands. It's gambling. You have if you get really bad beats, it can take you like 5 days. If you get good beats and you get really lucky, it can take you somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour. I've had some pretty bad beats where I lost with 3 aces, or like when I lost with like a flush, 3 aces, whatever. I've lost with some really weird shit. So realistically, take the poker ones with a you gotta enjoy poker kind of mentality. Board Kings, it's single player Monopoly basically. It's like Coin Master. You gotta keep rolling this dice to get for your guy to run around in a circle on your board to get money to build houses. It's the same thing as Coin Master, but less vicious and less toxic. Because people invading your area only helps you make money. Only helps them make money. Occasionally, there's one square out of 40 that they can step on that will take over one of your houses, and you gotta buy it back, which is not that bad. Like, Board Kings is not. It was alright. It was pretty good. Decently relaxing game. I play it maybe 5 minutes a day. Unfortunately, it took me like close to a week. But it was pretty good. I can't complain. Level 8 and onwards was getting exponentially harder. So glad to be out of it. And then this complete 50 puzzle thing. I completed it 2, and they just paid me. So I got lucky there. I don't expect them to pay you if you did 2, but hey, if you're interested in trying to scam the system, you can try that one. It's free 300 Visio, right? Okay, and here's the ones that I'm working on. A lot of which I gave up on, but because they're infinite time, they kind of just stayed there. So I'm still working on West Game. I looked at it, reached Town Center level 11. Most settlement games is level 12 and pays around 1,000. This one's level 11, pays 800. I gave it a shot. It was not bad. World War Rising. These are those like, this is another kind of city builder game-ish game. I think Lords Mobile or Avalon was kind of like that, where like you actually had a power level in addition to having your city. And I picked up this one, and I picked up the Final Fantasy one because I played Lords. I don't remember whether it was Lords Mobile or Avalon that had that level. I believe Game of Thrones also had it as well. I played it and it was like 500k power, versus here you only need 150. I thought it was gonna be easy. No, the graphics was terrible. The game was laggy. The game was choppy. The graphics was terrible. I just couldn't pass the first 5 levels. I was just like, forget it, I'm done. I couldn't even get my settlement past level 5. That being said, at the time I was pretty burnt out from city builder games, so that might be one of the reasons. So I gave up. I'll just tell you that. So I put it as like a 2. But the only one where I would give it a 1 and tell you to avoid it like the plague is the Game of Thrones one. The rest are kind of like 2. Do it if you want. It's a challenge, but it ain't pretty. Dig Out is one of those side-scrolling games where you kind of dig, but you're digging downwards. The controls are not tight at all for app. It's very easy for you to randomly run into a snake, run into a bomb, crap falling on you. It's very easy for you to die and I died like 5 or 6 times because it's just because the controls weren't good. So I did not want to play that game. I gave up. King's Legion. I've done 40 puzzles right now. It's basically another city builder. And completing 60 puzzles is another way of saying you gotta get to city 15. In which case it's like, you know what? I don't need to do the puzzles. I don't need to actually like do that much to get to city. Well, I mean, I'd rather in that case it be get to city 15. But 4,200 Visio is too much to give up. So I didn't give up on that one. I think it'll take me another 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 days. The thing with these offer walls is like, if you do it on Friday, you're likely to get your free Visios come Wednesday. And now all of a sudden we got new content and you got Visio, right? So good combination. Vegas slots. I have not played Vegas slots. I've downloaded it, and for whatever reason, this one was ridiculously difficult to get to level 10. The other ones I easily got to like Billionaire Casino up top and House of Fun, those things I got to level 10 within like 10 minutes. So I don't recommend any of the slot games, to be honest. Final Fantasy 15, graphics too choppy. Basically another city builder where you level up the hero, which I don't think is an issue per se. I just couldn't get interested in it. Billionaire Casino, level 200. I think I'm at like level 40-ish. and I run out of gold every day. Trying to roll on this. Basically, my luck just went down the drain, or basically your win rate just went down the drain. After level 20-ish, so I wouldn't play Billionaire Casino, albeit it's level. It's one of those. You look at it, slot game. You gotta get to level 200. Yeah, hard pass. Haven't tried Clockmaker. Looks like Bejeweled, I believe. Bleach Immortal Soul. Collect 3 SSR. They give you 2 SSR within the first week, so you just have to pull one additional one, which I did. So I'm at this point I'm just logging in to get the login bonus until they give me Hitsugoya, so I can have my 3 SSR. Game of Lust, raise up level 8 of King. Like, what the hell does that even mean? Reach level up 8 of the kingdom. I don't even know what the hell that means. Anyways, this is one of those like Chinese palace games where you're the king and you got a bunch of wives and you got your retainers. I seen a Game of Lust one where it's like get 8 wives. I played one of those games before. It's very pay to win. In order to get 8 wives, it was too hard. And so in this case, this guy, in this case, they want you to get to like official level 8. Or basically it's like the Prince of Persia games or like the Game of Sultan games. And they need you to level up like, I don't know, I think 3 or 4 times. So yeah, that was a hard pass because it takes what would be called merit or player exp, but player exp is gained 5 points at a time by beating dungeons versus the merit system that requires you to promote or requires you to level up. You're here knocking out dungeons for 5 points. Meanwhile, they're doubling. First level 25, second level 50, third level 250. Like they're doing that. Way too hard. Don't play that one. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. That was King's Throne Game of Lust. Yeah, no, that's a hard pass. Even if it was doable, which I'm not saying it is, easily take you close to a couple of weeks, even if you're paying. Misplay. I opened it. It was basically too confusing for me. For me to have to play all those other games. I didn't really like it. A lot of these games are still on my wall. I've uninstalled, and I don't think uninstalling and reinstalling would actually give me credit for it. So it's kind of dead in the water, even if I regret it. So nothing to regret. House of Fun slot machines get to level 90 in I think 2 weeks or a week. No, that's a hard no. Battle Knight, Cyber Squad, Idol RPG. I played it once. This is one of those situations where it was like the Bleach one where you gotta get 3 SSR. There's free summonings. I was hoping I can summon someone that was purple to begin with, so that way I can recruit less people. But basically, this is one of those games where it's like, well, you don't want to play with your girlfriend because it basically it's the content's kind of explicit, like and it's one of those like a lot of it requires a lot of summoning. I was hoping, and a lot of these like collect 6 certain level heroes. It's like, think of it as like collecting 3 URs in War Divisions. Too hard to do. And you can't reset it because I think resetting it will throw off the ID for the offerwall, so it's not gonna work. So you can't do what you did in War Divisions, keep resetting until you get a bunch of good URs. That just doesn't fly. So this one I kind of just have in my back burner, and I'll play it if it gets really bad. But like, yeah, it wasn't that good. A lot of city builder games, it's like you can play the city builder game, set the time limit, or make the buildings. You gotta come back in 2 hours, and in the meantime, you play something else. So city builder game's not bad. Yeah, that does not take 3 days on average to complete. I looked at this one, I thought, hey, 3 days on average to complete, not bad. No, it's been like a good week here, and I've kept running out of gold to try and do this. I'm level 60. I'm level 59, and trying to get from 59 to 70 has been a huge drag. But at least you get infinite time. And 2,000 Vizier is not bad. So, Casino Vegas slot 200, I give it a 3. But that's just for my pure hatred of like casino slot games. Casino poker games are pretty good. And that's all of the vision wall stuff that I've done, and I can give recommendations on. Like, I don't think too many people played the vision wall. It's a good source of Visual, and I've played a ton of these offer walls. I thought a lot of these games were pretty interesting. But overall, one of the biggest things about the the offer wall, is I couldn't find anything on YouTube about it. I only found the 3 videos from Masada Gaming that talked about like a couple of the ones that I've talked about. But then from there, it was a lot of just play for yourself kind of issue. So, yeah, offer wall is great. A lot of these games are pretty good, and occasionally you'll run into some really crappy ones. But yeah, those are the games that I recommend. They range from anywhere from like I can do it in 30 minutes to it's gonna usually take me like a day to 3 days. So take it with a grain of salt. Your mileage may vary compared to mine. Hopefully they come out with some better better offer walls that give more visual and are easier to do. All right, the Ultimate Cheese signing out.